I'm ready.
Right, my name's Gareth. I'm the site manager for Eagle House with Castell Construction. I'm going to take you through a few different stages of where we are at the build at the moment. So, for example, in this plot, the stage we're currently at now is the double boarding fireproof ceiling has gone in, and then we've got what's called MF, the metal framework is in. What that does is in that void there is where we will carry all our first fix elements. So there'll be elements of electrical cabling, for instance, lighting circuits, sockets, smoke alarms, etc. You can see some of the sprinkler work within that service void has gone in already. What will happen then is the ceiling will cover all that in, and that's the finished ceiling that will be plastered and is attached to that. If you look around the room, you can see where we've brought in the fire protection for this particular plot down. So you've got 2 layers of fireboard. Where we've got a soil vent pipe for this, there will be a fire collar that surrounds that. Behind this you can see we've got what we call patricing, so sheets of plywood ready to take the kitchen wall unit fixing and the kitchen base unit fixing. The next plot we go in is a bit further ahead than this, and then I'll show you some of this with the services in. Happy with that? I should have been a film star. That's okay, so we're in a different plot now, which is slightly more advanced. So if you look up into the ceiling void again, this is where you'll now start to see the wiring circuits. There's water pipes going in. You can see the ventilation duct there poking through, the sprinkler systems in. If you look a bit closer, you'll see what we call fire stopping. So any penetration within these areas, they are stopped with the fireproof compound. We get a specialist contractor to do that, and then you'll see labels next to them. That basically forms or dictates what areas he's covered. So they mark, it's like a road map, if you like, of what's been fire stopped. We take pictures of those, and building control takes pictures of those. We also keep those filed in like a Reg 38 folder, we call it, just so the client and anybody in the future knows where everything is if we need to spot check it. You can see where we've got ventilation in as well, passing through walls, fire stop, ductwork, etc. A little red item on top of that soil pipe there, that's the fire collar I was talking about in the room below. That isn't done yet below, it's done here, and you can see the fire stopping contractors labels to certify those next to it. Right, so we've moved further up now, so you can get an idea of what happens to the ceiling once those service voids are filled in. So the borders will come behind. Once that fire stopping is done and building control have signed off the pre-plaster inspection, as we call it, then we're allowed to cover everything in. So all the exposed ductwork, wires, etc. in the service void, they're all hidden underneath that ceiling. This now is being boarded, ready for plaster, and you can see certain areas have got different colour walls. That's basically different types of fire rated plasterboard. So it's the quality of the board and the thickness of it, and the amount of layers of plasterboard on there differ wall to wall in a lot of plots, but that's like the fireproofing element. So a pink board is what we call a fireboard. Yeah. So that's got a higher fireproof rating, supposedly. Blue boards, this is for sound. So the blue board is what we call a soundboard. It's not really that much different to a fireboard, other than it's got fibres within it that have to limit the amount of sound transfer from plot to plot. Whiteboard then is just a basic wall board. They come in different thicknesses, there's 12.5mm and 15mm. You can get different thicknesses again than that, but we just tend to use 12.5 and 15mm. Yeah, the wall types are a lot different. There's probably like 6 different wall types per plot on this build, so it's quite complicated. So this little boxing area here is called a service riser. So in this particular service riser, you can see we've got the mains feed electrical. That gets carried from the ground floor right to the top floor, and it'll pop out on each individual floor then to go to each plot. Also, we've got things in there like the solar cables. These are the solar cables. They will go through this service riser up and down and off then into each floor and then into the plots from there. So everything like electrical, like for example, we capture in here. There's also another service riser, which is quite dark at the minute, but anyway, there's another service riser here. That one is for BT cables and water. Okay, so the majority of the scaffolding is down now. We've left this area of scaffolding here to the left, just because we need access into the building for materials. Now the scaffolding is down. You can kind of see and get a feel for what the finished building is going to look like. So yeah, it's a very nice building, I think.
Second prize for 100,000. Next slide, please.
Thank you. Great to see you again, Castell. Next slide, please.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I just want to put it out that I am absolutely privileged to have won the second place prize for the Stelios Awards for Young Entrepreneurs UK 2025. And I could not have got this far at all without the hard work of my team who are watching. So I just want to do a quick shout out to them. Thank you so much for all the hard work you do. I really do appreciate it. 60 staff.
Well, in less than 5 years, when did you start?
Correct. So we officially started in June 2020. I'd just like to finish by saying thank you to Stelios, thank you to your foundation, thank you to your incredible team, and I'm so grateful, and thanks again to my team.
Well, hello, Monday morning, my name's Tony, I'm the site manager at Neath Workingmen's Club. I'm going to take the young lady around and show her what a typical Monday morning looks like. So this morning, we're doing a crane service. So we'll be down for about an hour and a half. But everybody's got mortar and bricks, so we're all okay with that. We're going to have a walk around inside now. Last Thursday, I sent 2 weekly programs out, so what I got to check now, who was turned up this morning, and who's doing what, and who's not doing what. So we're going to have a look. So we're on the ground floor now. We're going to walk into flats 5, 6, 7, and 8. I expect to see, based on the 2 weekly programs I sent out last week, M&E working in plot 5, doing their first fix. This is plot 5. You can see on the walls, we've done a first fix on the walls. So the services will go in behind the walls, cables. This is the kitchen. This is ply, and it supports the work unit and the base unit and the units up above. So we have a border in here.
Yeah, it's on these now.
As per program. We're going to the next plot, plot 6. This is James, our M&E manager. He's going to tell me how many guys we've got in our plots for fixing today as per program. And his answer is?
3 in each.
Don't believe that for a minute. So I'll take you up on the 3rd floor where more of the action is going on. Well, all the windows, except for the aluminium windows, is on the ground floor. We've got windows on the 1st floor, we've got windows on the 2nd floor, and we've got windows being fitted on the 3rd floor.
I'm dressed well, aren't I?
Well, you could do the undoing the knots, you could, because they'd pull you for that. This is the 3rd floor. So the windows being fitted, we've started board in this room here. So all we got left to do in here now is the metal work on the ground. Then I can get the first fix carpentry in here then. That's the metal work, that's the metal. So what you'll have here is the bathroom, boiler cupboard. So it's done in metal on the floor, up to the ceilings. Ceilings are now being done in here. Then the M&E then needs to put their trays compartment up in the ceilings there. All the cables and the pipes. So as you can see, all the ceilings are done up on the 3rd floor. Windows to be fitted here. Boards to go on the walls. Right. Metal to go on the ceilings. Ductwork to go inside the metal, to go outside, ductwork across the ceilings. Then you have another board in, because you'll have cables and stuff like that inside the void. There'll be a void there, see? Going on the roof. Ooh.
What's all this then?
This is the tracks. These are the tracks for the solar panels. So all the solar panels will be fitted inside these tracks, all the way down the other side.
How many solar panels?
I don't know how many. There'll be a lot.
A lot?
Yeah, I've not counted them. There'll be a lot.
Is this?
Yeah, these are smoke shafts.
And what do they do?
Well, if there's a fire, and the smoke, these will automatically open up. It's called an AOV, so they automatically open up and let out all the smoke. They will all open up. Well, in here, this is a plant room. So you're going to have batteries for the solar panels. There'll be batteries stored there, and there'll be batteries stored there. Yes. So all the cables will come into the batteries. Yeah. Batteries will have all the power then from the solar panels. On the board there, we have all the plot numbers for the ground floor. So people can't keep on asking me 20 times a day what flat number is. Just look at that, from all the flat numbers.
Just the same. Yeah.
Fire action plan tells everybody where the fire extinguishers are, where they're positioned. Sound the alarm if there's a fire. Sound the alarm if there's a fire. Once we got things like wood, timber, doors, then things are combustible. They will probably do a fire drilling.
You've got plenty of crates.
Plenty of crates.
Sound fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very lovely then.
And that's about it, really.
Right, we're in Oakdale today. We are doing our golden brick and breaking ground. The golden brick is a level of the site where we exchange contracts with the client. We are again, we've achieved golden brick. It's a massive milestone for Castell and Link. We are building 26 units, 20 one bedroom and 6 2 bedroom. But the development is in partnership with Link Cymru, and this will receive funding from Welsh Government. At the moment, we've got ground workers on site and an engineer. The guys on site, if you pan round there to your left, the engineer is setting all the drainage points. Obviously, they've got to be in a exact location. Basically, all your kitchen waste, your toilets and everything, they've all been predetermined. The next step, on Monday, we're hoping to have a crane on site and to start the new therm floor installation. This is a concrete and polystyrene plank, which is 375 millimeters thick. That should take us about 3 days. From then, we've got a course of bricks to go all the way around the building, and we can start our timber frame installation.
So currently we've got partially finished roof. We have a single ply membrane rather than standard felt or a sheeted steel covering. Generally the membrane is a lot lighter, a lot easier to handle than steel. This is all being prepped now, ready for the solar panels to be fitted, which are fitted directly onto the roof. This should be finished in the next day or so, but it's ready for the solar panels now. The boys are currently putting the ridge up stands on. Aluminium frame gets bolted to the roof, and then on top of that the solar panels are fixed, and then the wiring's taken down and through the roof. These are the fascia boards for underneath. This is the roof prior to the installation of the strips. These are glued on in place. So rather than with a metal roof, you have to machine it and form the ridges. Here, the ridges are just stuck on and secured. Currently, we are setting out on the roof for the brackets for the solar panels. So the solar panels will then be fixed on top of these, and that's it. So they're currently fixing. They've got to cut them all out, re-glue them to seal them all the way around, make sure it's nice and watertight. I say then, panels are all done in sections, and that's what they're currently doing at the moment.
Good.
Yeah, quick. Let's get off of here. There we go. Right. This is the cladding. Comes in sheet form, and is then fixed to the battens, and then touched up where the fixings go through to the battens. Right. Right then. Oh yes. I mean, in here at the moment, the boys have currently put the res bars up on the ceiling with the insulation in between. The res bars are designed to cut down on the transfer of noise between the flat below and the flat upstairs. So any vibration, any noise is mitigated by the res bars because they flex. All the windows are in, bar a couple that we're going to be using for entry and exits. Here we have a completed ceiling, boarding wise. We've got 2 layers of board up here. Yet to be smoke taped. And then once all that's completed, we've got another ceiling to go in underneath that as well. That plastic there is a moisture barrier. It's to prevent any moisture from inside the walls coming out and through the boards. In here you can see that they've started smoke taping. Actually, smoke taping is just there to seal any joints between the boards to prevent smoke going through them and the progression of fire as well. This is a completed smoke sealed ceiling. These here are the panels for the interior walls that would be put up on completion of the smoke taping. Right, what you've got here then is the underside of the roof. There's some nice views out these windows.